The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah!
Go Cowboys!
Let's go, baby!
Are you ready for a break?
Yes.
Are you ready for a break?
Absolutely.
Ready for a break?
Yeah, and so much for that.
It's time for The Break on DallasCowboys.com.
We were on a break!
With Ambar Garcia, Brian Broaddus, Vach Lombardi, and Derek Eagleton.
It is Thursday, November 13th, 2025, Season 21, Episode number 76. Welcome to the latest edition of The Break. We are live from the SWBC Mortgage Studios at the Star. We're presented by LG. LG is the world's #1 OLED TV brand for 11 years and counting. CY at LG.com/OLED Evo. All right, today we will flip our focus from the Las Vegas offense to the Las Vegas.
How do you put up with it, Brian?
Man,
How do you put up with him?
I promise I was going to mind my business.
One of these
the
days.
comments say, Vach and Ambar fighting so much. Why do they hate each other? And I said, I was going to come in this show and not say nothing. I wasn't going to.
That was me yesterday, and I was attacked.
I wasn't going to do nothing. I was just going to mind my business, do the show. I was going to get my little check for $15 and just go home.
One of these days, I'm going to be able to get through an intro without being interrupted.
It wasn't me this time, though.
You know what it is?
You agree it wasn't me this time. Chill out. You agree it wasn't me this time.
Every time you're doing the intro, Derek, he's over there making all kinds of faces and moving his mouth.
I know, that's
all
what we're supposed
it's
to
just
power through. We got to power through.
But it's
Power
LG, 11 years, best TV maker in the game. You feel me? OLEDEvo.com and them.
When are the fans getting some?
Number one. I'm trying
When
to get
are
some
the
LG
fans
money
gonna
so y'all
get
can get y'all damn TVs, man.
It's coming.
For Christmas?
Christmas is coming.
Okay.
Santa.
Yeah, Christmas coming.
Hey,
but
you know
Christmas
what?
come every
That'd
year.
actually be a good idea. Brian, you think we could get you to dress up as Santa?
For the show?
If we could get TVs, you think we could get you to dress up as Santa to give the
sure.
fans
Deliver it.
Sure.
You think we do that?
The TV.
Okay.
I'll do it.
I mean, if you'll do the Mrs. Doubtfire for your boys, then you'll do Santa for us, right?
I was a really good Ben Franklin.
Look, you didn't know about that?
You ever see me dress up as
Miss Doubtfire?
I've never dressed up as Miss
I
Doubtfire.
thought you did that. You didn't.
No, they asked me to.
Oh, I thought you
and,
did
and
it.
that was
I
almost.
thought you did do it.
I thought you did it too.
No. There was gonna be a bet payoff. I would show you a picture if I did that.
Don't lie because I'm sitting here like you ain't.
No, I was gonna. That was a bet payoff.
That would have been a hell of a bet pay.
I lost in the round of the Survivor pool, and one of the bet payoffs was me dressing up like Miss Doubtfire. That's when I had like the long kind of hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Y'all the same height.
Oh yeah.
You and Miss Doubtfire. Y'all
Me
look
and Miss
down.
Doubtfire are the same height, but yeah, I went.
I don't wanna see you like that.
I went as Ben Franklin. It was one of the better.
That actually was pretty good.
Yeah, it was cool. Did the show as Ben Franklin?
Did you do the voice and everything?
No.
I don't even know what he sounds like.
How you
but
sound?
I don't know how he sounds, but
No, I didn't know. But it was funny because I had on the frills and all the vests
ruffles.
and the like the pants. And yeah, it was pretty good. It was pretty good. With wingtip shoes, we were good.
That's crazy.
all right. Let's talk.
It ain't me this time, y'all. Chad loves be like, Vach, come here throwing the show off. It ain't me this time. This is Derek.
You just rolling with
That's
it.
Brian talking about the damn shoot.
But if we had to dress me up for Santa to do Christmas stuff, I think we could do that.
Okay, let's think about that. Maybe that's how we get the TV.
Let's get the TV first.
We got to get the TV first.
So we're giving them to fans.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to work out is
Oh.
get some fans. Now, every time Amber mentions it, it throws it back a few weeks. But hey, we'll keep working on it too.
Yeah, blame me. Blame
we can do.
the voice of the fans trying to speak
we
for
can get
them
this
and
to
ask
work.
for this TVs.
All right, here's what I had a question for you guys on. Before, and a lot has transpired, obviously. A lot of very serious things have transpired. But after the Arizona game, we heard Shoddy say, there are going to be some big changes coming after the bye. And my question for you guys is, do you think that with the things that this team has had to experience in those 2 weeks, because it wasn't a typical bye, you literally went through a tragedy in the middle of that. Do you think that maybe fans should not expect as much from the standpoint of big changes? There are obviously going to be some players that are coming back. We've talked about Overshown and Revel. But do you think that fans should kind of scale back a little bit on their expectations for change, for big changes in things because of the fact that the team was going through some other things that were much bigger than making changes on the football field?
I don't think that fans shouldn't expect it. Tragedies did happen. they still have a job to do and they still have a goal that they're trying to get to at the end of the season. And I think some of those weaknesses on defense are so glaring that even if they had 2 bye weeks to sit down and think about it and reflect, some of those changes are still going to happen because they're like, those are top tier danger level, changes that need to be made. So, like if it was a here or there thing, maybe so. And I think, they all got to sit and have tough, conversations about it. Like, hey man, no, we going through this, we still have to move forward, as Shai say, but moving forward, I think this is the best course of action moving forward. So I think that's how it'll kind of be. So yeah, change is definitely coming for sure.
I think it all depends on your interpretation of what changes mean, because technically they did make changes because that comment was made prior to the Cowboys making those trades. So now you do have some outside help that comes into the, so it's all up for interpretation. And you see, I'm impressing you today again.
Look, got you 6 minutes in and about already over there like,
because Shotty might stand there and be like, well, those are the changes we did make.
So now I'm thinking, how much do those trades impact the change that were going to happen anyway?
Right. Or
that's hard.
Were those the change? Like literally, was that it? Like,
for example, not to be so cryptic about it, right? Let's say that they were going to play a linebacker less, to play a young linebacker more. Do you then go to that young linebacker like, hey man, Logan Wilson is here now. This is probably what
we still love you, bud.
Still love you, brother. I think this is a perfect example. Perrion Winfrey, right? Activated 21. This is probably the time that he was going to come back. Now you got a bona fide dude in that room. Now we're back to the conversation of, well, is it 5 defensive tackles that we're going to be carrying? Are we going to sit Perrion again? Like, is it going to be one of those situations? Like,
Toia end up being the guy, odd man out. There's a lot of things involved here. Yeah.
Like, we've ramped you all the way up to go. Like, do we just say no now? So that's fantastic.
Thank you. Appreciate it. That's great.
I feel
Let's just get along the whole rest of the episode, see if we can do it. Go ahead.
No, there's no chance of that. I'll say this though. I think a lot of it depends on how these players, and so I'll focus on the other side of things. I'll focus on the injured guys. I think that there's going to be naturally some guys that are going to get the opportunities. How do you not play Quinnen Williams? Sure. How do you not play Logan Wilson? But let's think. Expectations are for these injured players are to be, hey, let's immediately throw them out there. We don't know how that's going to play out. We really don't. I mean, we hear that they're going to practice. They've got several practices that they've got to get through. So as they work through that, that's any player coming off injury. So I think fan expectation is, Ravel's going to be out there. He's going to be out there playing. Overshown going to be out there playing. I think we need to kind of see how practice goes, and I think we need to see how how they get through this, and then where the game leads. And I could say I think expectations are that hey, these guys are probably going to start. We'll see how all this plays. It's just like anything else. We saw with Carson how they ramped him up, Diggs how they ramped him up. They have a little bit of a history of these players coming off injuries, how they're going to play them. So I could say I think there's some obvious ones, and then there's some I think you have to kind of wait and see.
So if you had to put yourself in that position and say, okay, yeah, there are personnel changes that are obvious. There are guys they brought in. There are guys that are coming back from injury. We know there's going to be some difference there. We'll see how much they're used. That being said, what other things would you look at and say, here's some changes I think would be specifically, if you're talking about the defensive side of the ball, but if you have some on the offensive side of the ball, great. What are some of the changes that you would say, hey, this is something they had 2 weeks, this is something I would expect to see a little different in this next game?
I think at the end of the day, we have to look at these athletes as pros. They've been doing this their whole entire life, and I'm sure they've been a part of a situation where they showed up and they were better than somebody, and somebody had to sit down. It just is what it is. That's part of it. That's just part of the game. I would love for this coaching staff, organization, whoever in charge, I don't know, I'm just on the camera and the mic. I would love for everybody to just kind of have this, it ain't personal attitude, but this player playing better than you. Yeah. That just is what it is. Some defensive ends, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Donovan Ezeraku, it's time for him to kind of take this thing over for the most part. Jadeveon Clowney came in, took over. Even as old man fresh off the couch, he showed you a little more than what we've seen from some players that have been here. Now that he's knocked the rust off a little bit, got a couple more games under his belt, he's still climbing and getting better. At some point, you got to understand, hey, even if you play 40 reps in week 1, if your snaps are 13 this week, you can't be mad because you are a professional and you've done this to somebody else. That man came in. If he's playing better than you, it is what it is. Another example, Kalen Carson, right?
Absolutely.
Kalen Carson put some fantastic film on tape.
Sure.
Fantastic film on tape. Some of y'all didn't got picked on. Guys that have been here since week 1. However you got here, you got here. And, you may be here because, some coach favors you. One of the new coaches favor you. But we can't deny what we saw from Carson on film last week. So you'll have your opportunity to take your job back. But just as of now, this new cat that just came in, he just took it from you. So what I would love for them to do is to just have grown conversations about this. And like, look, it ain't personal, but we just want to tighten up the rotation a little bit. I know that the idea was keep everybody fresh, rotate them out so everybody's going 100%. This may sound a certain kind of way, but somebody's 75% is better than another player's 100%. So I'm going away from all their rotation right now.
Yeah, the thing to me would be maybe at right tackle, but that could be a 50-50 right there with, a veteran guy and a younger guy. And, I wanted to believe Nate Thomas, and I still think that Nate Thomas has got a future. There's no question about that. But, now there's that little bit of like, okay, well, if he played 50 plays, would he be better? Or would, he played 18, 19 plays, gave up a bunch of pressures to a team that doesn't pressure the quarterback all that much with the Arizona Cardinals. So you worry about that. That's a switch. You can say, okay, immediately place the right tackle. I would like to see, we've talked about this a little bit, I'd like to see more span forward playing tight end. If they're going to get into some 12 personnel stuff, Luke Schoonmaker, and, it's not anything that Luke Schoonmaker's done wrong. I just don't think Luke Schoonmaker's done enough to keep span forward. Vach laid it out for you perfectly. There are guys that, like the eye test tells you, he's a little bit better than this guy. And so let's see those changes. I think the thing with this whole thing with Blue at running back, you need to figure this thing out. Now if it's a situation where the coaches come out or we're starting to hear where it's not translating from the classroom to the field to the game field, if that's the case, then I understand what the coaches are doing. But man, that kid is too talented not to try something with him and try. But if he's his own worst enemy, then I can completely understand where the coaches are coming from, and I'm not interested in making that change. But it's something I would like to see.
Well, going back to your initial comment, Derek, prior to you posing the question, specifically speaking about the defense, I don't personally expect a whole lot of changes when you talk about scheme or things like that. I will lean more towards what Vach was saying of like you playing your best players out there, and that's what you're leaning on, because going back to what Danny McCray was saying during the podcast, yeah, you're going to expect these players I expect them to be on the field and just go. And like, they're going to play. But it's different when you're talking about being in a room where someone's supposed to be sitting there and they're not. And you're talking about scheme and changes. So it's hard to absorb new information when you're in a certain state of mind. You can say, yes, they're professionals and all this or that, but the reality is you're still human and it's only natural. And those are certain things when you talk about mental and focusing and absorbing, those are things that most of the time is out of your control. Even if you're trying to focus, you can't. So I do think it will affect them in that sense to where we don't see them implement a whole new thing or give a whole new information. But I do believe in what Brian Schottenheimer said yesterday. They're going to go out there, they're going to be prepared, and they're going to go and play. And he said it yesterday in his press conference, which was completely dedicated to Marshawn Kneeling. He mentioned it. They're going to go honor Marshawn, and they're going to honor him in this game against the Raiders and all throughout the season. So I do think that they're going to bring their hearts and effort in there. But as far as giving new information and absorbing it, I personally don't believe that would be the case.
Yeah, but what's sad right now is they've backed themselves into a corner. the way the season has gone so far. And
Yeah, that sucks.
and they really they have to there's no margin of error now.
Yeah.
There really isn't. You can't go out there and mess around and play poorly and allow the Raiders to stay in the game or even win this game. If you really want to honor Marshawn Nealon, go out there, and if you have to play five-man line, play five-man line. There's some things that they're going to have to do differently, and they were going to have to do it differently whether they had the tragedy or not. That was some of the stuff. They've got the type of defensive lineman now that if you're really serious about putting your best guys on the field, you will figure out a way to put the best guys on the field, and you will fight your way through any other adversities you have. But the margin of error for this football team is really zero, and that's unfortunate.
All right, we're going to take our first break. We'll come back. We'll dive into the Las Vegas defense versus the Cowboys offense. We'll be back. DallasCowboys.com radio.
If you can't be at the stadium, there's no better way to watch your Cowboys than on an LG OLED Evo TV. That's because everything you see is more lifelike. Every play, every hit. I mean, you might as well be on the sidelines. That's how clear it is. It's all thanks to LG's legendary technology. Perfect black, over 8.3 million self-lit pixels. No one comes close. LG OLED Evo is the best TV in the game for a reason. See for yourself at lg.com/OLED Evo.
Hey y'all, Matt Pittman here, the official pitmaster of the Dallas Cowboys. This holiday season, I've got Yeti's new insulated bowls and food storage working overtime. The insulated bowls are amazing. It'll keep queso warm or guacamole fresh. And the food storage containers protect my ingredients and help me stay organized. They also make great gifts for the host, making Yeti bowls and food storage MVPs for the holidays. Get yours at Yeti.com or a Yeti store near you.
I'm home.
Hey, Mom, before you ask, I've done my homework and the dishwasher's unloaded.
Nice. Hey, can you...
Hey, hon, yes, I've got the finale ready to play. Here's your wine.
Wow.
Isn't it nice not having to ask? We think so. That's why if there's a network interruption, AT&T will proactively credit you for a full day of service, guaranteed. Credit for fiber downtime lasting 20 minutes or more, or for wireless downtime lasting 60 minutes or more caused by a single incident impacting 10 or more towers. Restrictions and exclusions apply. See att.com/guarantee for details.
Cowboys fans, here's the game plan. Touchdown Tuesday at Take 5 Oil Change. Just wear your Cowboys gear and save 25% on your oil change. No huddle, no overtime. Just drive in, stay in your car, and roll out. You'll be tailgate ready in 10 minutes flat. Keeping up with your car shouldn't be a tough call. Take 5 makes it as easy as calling the coin toss. Take 5 is the official oil change of the Dallas Cowboys. Visit take5.com to find a location near you. Offer valid through December 31st, 2025. Terms and conditions apply. Valid only at participating locations.
If you shout, "How about them Cowboys?" you have that undeniable passion that's the heart of Cowboys Nation. And if you like to drink Dr. Pepper, you love the unique blend of its 23 flavors. Together, your one-of-a-kind fandom paired with the one-of-a-kind taste of a delicious ice-cold Dr. Pepper is the game day lineup that can't be beat. Better yet, gather your Cowboys and Dr. Pepper fan friends to watch the next game and crack open a delicious ice-cold Dr. Pepper for everyone. The wins will be even tastier. It's a pepper thing.
Back to the break.
Choose perfection. Choose LG OLED Evo. Check out the best TV in the game at LG.com. And hopefully, once we get into December, around Christmas time, we'll be giving out some LG OLED Evo TVs on this show based on Derek's promises. So I will hold him up to it and, see what the process is.
Are we doing
that is a phenomenal read, everybody.
That was not a read.
She ain't read that.
No, that was just. I'm just gonna give my own promo on something that I haven't even approved.
They didn't say that there was.
Hold on. Let's just make something clear.
Yeah.
This is something that you yourself brought on the air, and I'm just holding up.
I said I'm working on a thing.
You still working on it?
Yeah, I'm still working. Like I said, every time y'all bring it up, it sets it back. Like, let me work, man. Let me cook.
How exactly does it set it?
Don't worry about all that.
Everybody said something. Gotta make them wait 3 months.
Right. If anything, we're giving me more promo.
Exactly. And they just want more promo.
Oh, they just wanted to do it to surprise people.
Keep promoting. And
yeah.
Just make sure you follow our show and make it the most popular show channel here, and then we'll give you a TV.
Right. That's how it works.
Pretty simple.
All right, blockchain.
Pretty simple.
The second segment of the break is brought to you by blockchain.com.
You know what? I'm gonna start letting you do that. I'm gonna start letting you do it because you sit over there every day like.
Because it's just to add a little visual flair.
He's the blockchain.
Yeah, he's the blockchain guy. Let's let him be the blockchain.
Advocate.
He doesn't work
Jerry,
here.
Jerry Madeline taught me how to do that.
What?
Use my hands or just like lean in if I'm making a good point or something like that. So you'll see me doing that. So like when I want to do blockchain, I go and I let people know how important blockchain is.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Thank you, Jerry.
So we're gonna talk about the defense today.
Yeah, let's do that.
Talk about the
Raiders defense.
Talk to me about this Raiders defense because it's, in my opinion, very similar to the conversation we had yesterday about the Raiders offense. There's a guy that's a beast that you better be aware of because he can change your day for the worse. Tell me about him.
It's very true. The difference is Dallas Cowboys defense is where dreams come true, and anybody can show up and be fantastic. I think the difference is the Cowboys offense. You got dudes all over the place that are ready to take advantage of those guys. You know what I mean? So just looking at the Raiders and their defense, yesterday I was like, hey, if the Raiders offense are going to beat you, it'll be this way. It's not a whole bunch of ways that the Raiders defense can beat you. Max Crosby will have to have a phenomenal day versus your right tackle there. But
You're
I
saying
also
that's not possible.
No, it's very much so. It can happen. I've seen I've seen lesser edges have days like that versus your right tackle. It'll kind of mess up what you're doing there. But the edge pressure is what Dak can really deal with. And we mostly get whooped on the inside, then it gets real bad. It surprised me. They got a character there, Lualu, the
Jonah
over there. Jonah Lualu. He's a little better than I thought. I'm not going to sit up here and kick around the Raiders D line like they're all terrible.
Right.
But most of them are. It's just that Max and Lualu are pretty decent. So if you could deal with those guys,
What does Lualu line up? Where's he typically play? Who would he be matched up with primarily?
They're gonna play him like each side.
Okay,
so
you'll
get both guards are
outside.
going to
Okay,
get the
got it.
opportunities to do that.
even though you have tools to beat them. But this is where Lualu can kind of get you. He's very active. He's very active and he's very move around type guy. And the Cowboys have issues kind of dealing with gap exchanges and slants and all that. So if it's a situation where Max and Lualu are on the same side, hey man, this could be one of them ones for you. But in the event that you block those guys up front, it's gonna be a party. It's gonna be a party. These guys don't cover well. Some people seem to say that the Raiders can't cover the seam all that well. I don't think the Raiders can cover nothing all that well. It just depends on can they get to you. And they aren't a team that's gonna sack you a whole bunch. They may get some pressures here or there, and they're kind of decent in the run game more than you would think. Right. But you're good in the run game as well, so you can push those guys around. I'm gonna let Brian talk. And I'm gonna talk about the DBs a little bit later.
Yeah, I think he's absolutely right. And when you look at the Raiders with the way they play up front, it's all about Max Crosby, and he will actually he'll play over your right tackle. They'll move him over on your left tackle. They'll hunt some matchups every once in a while. This is a team that plays a lot of just base defense. They do not get into many exotic looks or anything like that. We've seen teams kind of come up with ideas of putting two of their best rushers on the same side and all that. You kind of get what you get, with the Raiders as you watch them play. You're absolutely right about Lualu, the way that he plays at defensive tackle. I mean, he's got a physical guy. Is going to, we've seen where the Cowboys will always kind of say, well, the matchup inside for the Cowboys should be pretty good, and hopefully so. You've got powerful guys inside. So this is a team that does not get a lot of pressures, believe it or not. That's our quick pressures. That was the thing last week that Arizona, or a couple weeks ago, Arizona was able to take advantage of you because of the quick pressures. Dak couldn't handle it, and then all of a sudden you had the problems, moving the football. But this is a group, and they've got veteran guys like Devin White at linebacker. This team gives up less than 4 yards a carry, but teams run the ball 28 times a game against these guys. It's not like you're taking advantage of one and neglecting the other. I mean, teams honestly try and run the ball against the Raiders, and they're able to play with White in the front and make plays that way. So you have to be ready for that. I think you're going to have to be balanced in this game, because if it does turn into, yes, you're going to throw, or you're going to have to throw the ball, then it turns in now to having to deal with Crosby and then Tyree Wilson. I know Tyree Wilson was a first-round pick for them from Texas Tech. I know on the draft show we all kind of talked about him. I know the Dallas Cowboys absolutely loved the player. There was talk about him like maybe being a potential draft pick or a trade candidate or something like that. came out of Texas Tech. They were worried about his foot. He had a little bit of a problem with that. But, if they get him going in this game, then that gives them the 2 rushers. But overall, though, they're going to play you pretty basic with their looks. They're not going to do anything really exotic to you. And you just got to be ready of how to handle him, but also have a plan for how to run the ball, because these guys will not allow you. They don't want you to run the ball. They really, really don't. And they do a good job of it.
Brian, the Cowboys normally leave their tackles on the island.
They do. Like 80% of the time.
Most of the time.
Yeah.
I think this week is a little different in the way that it's kind of like maxing everybody else. You know what I mean? Let's say, for example, like the Denver Broncos.
Right.
Boy, they got people all over the place that can rush you, so you really can't give help to every single body.
Yeah.
It might benefit you to get rid of the ball quicker and keep those passing options, right? Versus the Raiders, Brian. They got Max. I think everybody else will be fine in their one-on-ones. Do you think this will be a game where we see a lot more chips and tight end help?
Well, yeah, it's with the thing. If I could say something about Max real quick, and I'll get to your point because it's a good one. The thing with Max is we all knew how Tank Lawrence used to play, where Tank would sometimes gamble on some stuff. You could watch this team play run defense on 3rd downs, and you'll see Max Crosby all of a sudden just take it on his own. And I mean take it. He might be playing at that left end spot, and then he just feels like he's going to jump that snap and try and shoot a gap and then make a tackle for a loss or get the pressure so you got to be aware of him, kind of getting the gauge. He's feeling the snap count. He's feeling the snap count. This is one of those games too where if you play against these guys and you want to run the ball, I think the way to kind of do it is go on early counts, go quick counts. These guys kind of it takes them a little bit of time to kind of get organized. They're all kind of muddling around, and then that's the way the Commanders did that to them. Denver did that to them. Kansas City did that to them. As you watch the runs and how, if there were successful runs, those 10-plus yard runs, it was Raiders weren't ready, quick snap, and the Commanders completely ate them up playing college offense. Marcus Mariota at quarterback, and then doing the stuff, the pistol formations, the options, the read options. The Raiders didn't have a really good plan for that. But I would say be alert for Crosby on the slant stuff or him just kind of taking it. But if you want to run the ball, think about maybe going with some quick stuff, quick count stuff. Just first sound. Just get under center, go first sound, and then go, because that seems the Raiders are kind of doing that. Now, to your point about how to handle him on the edge, you could space him, which you can make him wider by alignment. That would be a span forward, somebody over there. You could bring somebody across, Schoonmaker, bring him across the formation, set up there. I think the chips and all that are stuff's really good. He is so long and rangy. It's arm over, it's slide through. I mean, for a really tall guy, he's got that knack for kind of getting through the gaps and cracks, but he could also win around the edges too. We've seen him do that a bunch. So if you're going to do it, make sure that back. The one thing that Dallas does really, really well is Williams is a really good helper. If he's not helping in the middle of the pocket, he could help to the outside. He does a really good job of not getting connected with either with Steele or with Guyton. He stays wide. He keeps things wide. Sometimes you worry about backs getting too close and then they mess up the blocker. He's really good at staying wide and staying engaged to what you're doing. So to your point, absolutely keep him wide with spacing. Also try and maybe chip him a little bit with Williams, because I think he knows how to do it the best.
Yeah, Brian, you're gonna try to get CD involved, Pickens involved, Flo, Ferguson. I think you can do whatever you want to do against these guys.
Sure.
Jamal Adams, the nerve of him.
Wait, Jamal Adams still in the league?
The nerve of him. The nerve of these people.
What?
But he's playing linebacker now.
Playing linebacker.
He's playing regular linebacker now. And Ferg kind of terrorized.
He had a couple more biscuits along the way.
He a little bigger.
Well, he was a big dude anyway. He was a big safety.
Add some more biscuits.
Yeah.
He
A few more biscuits.
biscuits.
Parcells thing, huh?
Parcells.
The biscuits, yeah.
More biscuits.
Yeah.
Stokes, Chin,
Yeah.
Palomao. Go find them. Go get them. That's all they.
Oh, those are people.
Those people.
Yep.
Stokes, Chin, and Palomao. Isaiah.
I had no idea.
You thought he might be talking about the United Nations there for a minute.
I didn't know what he was talking about.
Isaiah.
Okay, go ahead.
Eric Stokes, Jeremy Chin, Isaiah Palomao. You can go find them.
Palomao.
Go. All right. Go find them all. Run past them.
So you're saying you can beat all of them?
All of them.
Yeah.
Every single last one of them can be guy. Even their best guy. You say that their best guy is Kelly Blue Bland.
Kai Blue Kelly.
Bobby Blue
Kelly.
Bobby Blue Bland.
Kelly Blue Kelly.
Kai Blue Kelly.
Kai Blue Kelly.
Yeah.
He can get it too though. Because you have CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens. So I wouldn't. This ain't a game where you have to shy away from anybody, but everybody can get it.
Yeah, the nickel's a problem, and Vach is absolutely right. The way they play their secondary, and if you're going to play with base front and base secondary, you're going to 62% of the time, most of the league. I mean, these guys just line up and try and beat you that way, and with Chin having to play in the slot, that's a problem. Darnay Holmes playing in the slot has been a problem for them. I think that Kelly, Caillou Blue Kelly, is their best corner. But Voch is not wrong, and there's times where they've gone after him. But Stokes could be had, and the safeties could be had here. So it's kind of a just if you could get the protection, they're gonna bank on. They're gonna try and get their best player home, and if he gets home, then you're gonna have problems throwing the football. But but you can make some plays. Dallas matches up really well against the secondary.
All right, let's take our final break. When we come back, I want to zero in a little bit more on the interior of the Cowboys offensive line. We haven't spent a lot of time talking about Cooper Beebe and his return in the last game, and Tyler Booker and how he's progressing as well. Let's talk about that when we come back. This is DallasCowboys.com radio.
Every day begins with a promise to work hard and to build a future. That's why we're here, providing the tools, expertise, and John Deere equipment you have relied on for generations to help you get the job done right. We're with you. That's our promise to you, because no matter the project or the challenge you're facing,
we're with you. We're united.
It's the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black. And right now, Cowboys fans can get 15% off their $75 order. Plus, because every deal needs a playmaker, your order will include a free 5-piece skincare set and free shipping. The Jack Black Playmaker is 4 of Jack's favorites and a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Make a play for the Playmaker at getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP.
I'm home.
Hey, Mom, before you ask, I've done my homework and the dishwasher's unloaded.
Nice. Hey, can you...
Hey, hon, yes, I've got the finale ready to play. Here's your wine.
Wow.
Isn't it nice not having to ask? We think so. That's why if there's a network interruption, AT&T will proactively credit you for a full day of service, guaranteed. Credit for fiber downtime lasting 20 minutes or more, or for wireless downtime lasting 60 minutes or more caused by a single incident impacting 10 or more towers. Restrictions and exclusions apply. See att.com/guarantee for details.
From the field to the festivities, Lucchese embodies the essence of luxury and tradition. Handcrafted with meticulous precision, each pair offers unmatched comfort and style. Stand tall while you're tailgating or cheering in the stands with the Dallas Cowboys collection by Lucchese. Shop the collection today at the Lucchese store at the Star in Frisco or online at lucchese.com. Lucchese, the official boot of the Dallas Cowboys and Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders.
How's it going? You see that Cowboys game?
Oh, I watched. Been seeing some good things.
Totally. They have some talent.
Yup, some great talent.
And they got some fight.
Hoping this is the year.
Me too. Oh, I'm Cody, by the way.
I'm Travis.
Nice to meet you, Travis. Go Cowboys.
Go Cowboys!
Make a new friend based solely on their shirt choice. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America, the official bank of the Dallas Cowboys. Copyright 2025 Bank of America Corporation.
Back to the break.
AT&T, connecting changes everything.
Welcome back. We're in the final segment of the break, live from the SWBC Mortgage Studios at the Star. Let's talk about the interior of the offensive line. Cooper Beebe returned in the last game. Talking about what you saw from him. Where is he in coming back? Was there rust? Did you think he played well? Were there areas that specifically stood out to you about how he was playing? What was your assessment?
I think the bye week was good for all these guys. you just talk about the guys in the middle there. They all got hurt somehow, and we look at Big Tyler and say, he don't all look like he's the same.
Tyler's been battling. Like he's just. This reminds me a lot of like Tyron Smith.
Yeah.
When you see him have seasons where he was just battling through, and it wasn't perfect. But you have to know. Yeah, but you have to know like. He is battling his injury. Yeah, he's battling through, and I respect that. But go
Booker
ahead, sorry.
and BB, they look a little stiff. They both aren't moving the best. Now, you will see times where they're climbing to the next level very well, So moving forward may not be a problem, but it's the same thing with the gap exchanges, slants and stunts and all those things, having to move sideways, and turn and doing some of that stuff. They're still kind of stiff in that way, but they're powerful. And honestly, athletic tape, man, you wrap it up, you probably won't even feel it, but you still got to recover throughout the week through that. So I think the bye week's the best thing for all of them.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that they've all been dealing with injuries. I mean, it really has been, especially inside. You lose Booker for a couple, you lose BB for a few. I mean, there's the lack of continuity inside has been pretty evident. Go back again, the quarterback has done a great job. Every time you look up, you look at the final book of the day for the stats. It's 3 pressures here, 4 pressures here, 4 pressures here, 3 pressures, 2 pressures. The quarterback's done a great job of managing the pocket and all. The Arizona game didn't particularly, but Vach is right there. The movement of these guys inside, I think, has been a big issue because, again, having to get back in there and get going again and the continuity, the working together. You could talk about the practice and all that stuff together, but you actually get in the game and those gap exchanges and you're passing guys and you're really not, you're like, okay, I'm going to pass this guy and I hope, and then you got a guy like Williams, I mentioned at running back, picking up, like if there's things that happen inside, he's there picking up a lot of that, but it hasn't been as clean as you liked for this group.
Pass blocking for sure. I'm sorry.
Who are your 5 right now?
My 5 offensive linemen?
Yeah.
The same 5 we've been running now.
Yeah, that's you got to do that.
I'm not making changes at right tackle right now. I think sometimes and when I say we, I mean like y'all for real. The new guy, you know what I'm saying? The new guy is real.
Well, I'll admit to that too.
This is all right, Brian Bros. You know what I'm saying? But Nate is right where he needs to be, but I don't think it's quite time for him to take over full time for 17, 18 games. That's always what we say about Brock, right?
Right.
Like I like Brock a lot, but for 17, 18, 19, playoff push, I don't know, that's a long time for somebody to just kind of scheme on him. And then we have the idea that, all right, you come in versus like a real talent and let's see what that looks like. It could be a little weird. I know that Terrence kind of will have a bad game and, just people just want to move on from him. But think about the last game. Terrence and Nate had the same number of pressures and, all this kind of stuff. But, like, Nate played, like, 20 less reps than Terrence did, So I think just keep what you got, hold on right now. I think the writing's on the wall. I think it's kind of clear about how this is going to end up looking future-wise. But as far as the rest of this season goes, I think you should just keep it at Terrence. And then to be clear, Terrence ain't a horrible run blocker neither. I think, Cowboy offensive line has kind of had the same identity all year that they run block much better than they pass block right now. So I think, game flow helps. I always say game flow. Like, what does that mean? Just if I'm passing the ball and I'm passing the ball, I'm much easier to defeat because what I'm about to do. Right. If you fly off the football and I get to smack you upside the head, or I get to let you go upfield and somebody else pull and hit you, or I get to screen, best release and block one of your partners, then you have a lot more to think about. But if we're just dropping back, and it ain't quick pass neither because we losing by 20-some points, we dropping back and we trying to hold the ball for a little bit to get something downfield, you're going to beat me more than likely. So if anybody comes into the game, you could say take out BB and put in Brock. They all gonna have the same issue of game flow. I think if you let the Cowboys offensive line hit first, sometimes I think they ought to be a little better.
Can I ask a real quick question to you in chat?
Por favor.
And
you asking the chat?
I'm asking the chat.
Jesus.
This quick, so you guys help me on this one. If the chat would want to, are you willing to use one of your 2 first-round picks on an offensive tackle?
Man, they ain't finna do that, man.
I'm just curious.
Can I answer?
Go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah.
You are.
Yes, sir.
Really?
Yes, sir. I sure am.
Offensive tackle.
Is that because you're the best player available no matter what situation, or you're looking at offensive tackle as one of the top needs on the team?
I don't say I'm best player available no matter the situation. I am typically best player available, though. So I look at it as my evaluation is the best player available a position where you can get some use?
Yes, sir.
And right now,
That's available by need.
Well, to some degree. But what I mean.
No, I'm not. I just say it because it's true.
Yeah, let me give you the example.
It's true.
Let me give you the example.
It's true.
If they go and let's say they go and sign Pickens here before they get to free agency. If there's a wide receiver sitting there in the first round, I don't want to do it because it might be the best player available.
Sure.
But how much am I going to get use out of him in the near future? Because I got 2 high-paid wide receivers that are now going to be on the field for me, barring injury. Now, so I guess it does. I always want best player available, or I most of the time want best player available. I just want to be smart about it to know, is this a position where I actually can get use out of this player? Does that make sense? And when you start, again, going back to the original question, yes, you can get use out of a tackle if you draft them in the first round. I believe
Okay,
that
let's say
wholeheartedly.
they do not sign him.
Who?
Pickens.
Pickens.
They don't sign him.
Let's just say, because we don't know for sure.
Yeah.
Let's just say that's the case.
Draft Jordan Tyson from Arizona State.
If Pickens is still a free agent by the time you get to draft, I'm gonna have a lot of questions anyway. Like, how is he still like? If the Cowboys don't sign him to a new deal before free agency begins, my thought is the likelihood is they'll probably lose him because then you're letting everybody bid, and it just becomes really hard to bring him back. So if they don't get him, if you're at draft and he's not,
I mean, does wide receiver now take over?
Yes.
Okay.
Because we saw it this year. Because what happens when or if CD is out for an extended period of time? Now, I would ask the panel here, do you think that Flanoy is ready to step into a role like that? I don't know. I haven't seen enough to say I think I would bet on that. So if I had a really good best player available wide receiver sitting there in the first round and I don't have Pickens
Jordan
on this
Tyson
team,
from Arizona State.
then I think I would really consider it. Absolutely consider it.
I think defense is such an emergency.
Yeah.
You'd go the whole draft on defense.
I could live. See,
what if free agency takes you in a way where
free agency matters?
But
right.
Yeah, there you go.
But
that may change your mind.
That may be how I fix my defense. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh wow, thank you. Bringing back something that Brian mentioned a few shows ago about drafting on the defensive side of the ball if you've had as much success as you've had on the offense.
Right.
So I mean,
are you saying go free agency for defense?
Well, I would because I want experience, but I know draft, you have to. That's by design. You have to draft people.
Yeah.
Even on both sides of the ball is what I mean. But when you talk about higher draft picks based on the recent non-success of certain players, would you consider leaning towards offense?
No, I'm just gonna cross my fingers real hard.
Well, crossing
how do you
fingers
cross them real hard?
Real hard. Like, I can chalk up the idea that the Cowboys don't draft well because by the time they get to the second round, those are like third round graded guys. And by the time they get to the end of the first round, those are like second. And I think some guys be reaches too sometimes. I ain't gonna say Sam Williams name. But I think when you're drafting in the top 12 or so, I think it's kind of hard to miss on those dudes. For example, Walter Nolan, right? Played his first game with the Cardinals last week. Yeah. He was a guy that the Cowboys liked.
Yeah.
If he was on our team, man, like that would have been a hit for him.
Yeah.
But he's an early draft guy, so it's hard to miss on like Michael Parsons type guys if they're up there.
Out of curiosity and just for memory's sake.
I'll let you cut me off. Go ahead.
Taco, when was he drafted?
Late first.
Yeah.
Was 29?
It was late. It was
real late.
Yeah, I think 27, 28, somewhere around there. Yeah.
Real late.
So you're talking top 15.
Top 15 or so. I have a theory that edge has become like quarterback in a way that there's a tax to where good edges just don't fall in the second round like they used to. Like Tank Lawrence is a famous second round pick that just works out.
I don't trade up to get him.
I don't think it happens like that. Like just looking at last year's draft, James Pierce with the Falcons, right? He was a guy that we all thought was going to be like a second round type dude, great talent, but second round type guy. But he was drafted at a premium first round. So now if we the Cowboys, we can't go, okay, well at the back of the first, He's a first-round pick. We may have a 2 or a 3 on him. We're just going to take him at the back. And no, we can't treat those guys the same. So Donovan Ezaraku is the difference, though, because he's whooping feet. But he was a first-round pick on my board.
Well, I'll tell y'all this. This is where it could also get really interesting. Let's assume that all these guys that they brought in and that are coming back from injury, they start working into shape, start playing better, get to December, and they're playing pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder how much that then affects how Dallas looks at the offense. Looks at the offseason from a defensive standpoint. Because if Overshown's back to playing like himself, if Revel's showing you signs that he can play, Williams is going to be doing his thing, right? Wilson, see what you're getting from. I'm just saying.
Then sign a safety or draft a safety.
Right, but I'm saying, does it change? Does it change the whole complexion of what we're talking about? Because right now we're looking at, we're like, man, you could go anywhere on the defense and get a player. But I wonder how much that, because Brian, you talk about this a lot. Sometimes you can get in your head where you start thinking, well, we got to get answer now. And it may have only been for a short period of time, but you start feeling, and it starts affecting what you think you really need. That could throw a lot of changes into how we're looking at the offseason from the defensive standpoint.
Other people, what are they saying? They want to tackle? An offensive tackle?
People in the chat, there was a mixed yeses and nos, and one person says, nah, all defense. I'm with y'all. I think no matter what, it should be edge and linebacker, because you never run out of you can never have too many edges. And even at linebacker, right? Demo comes back, he's fantastic. Logan Wilson, another year in his contract, he's cool. Demo still got injury history. You know what I'm saying? So you still may want to keep yourself safe in that way. And then when you move on from Logan, we've seen how bad this defense can be with no linebacker help. I'm going linebacker regardless, and then it's either pass. Micah was 12th overall, and we stumbled into a pass rusher there. He was a linebacker, but we stumbled into a great pass rusher there. I think
got hurt during a practice, and Dan Quinn
we got lucky.
The Chargers played Micah at edge.
We got lucky. So edge linebacker or Caleb Downs, not safety necessarily, but only Caleb Downs.
Yeah, I've seen people talking about that young man.
Too soon for me, but I'll break it all down.
All right. Appreciate you guys joining us. We'll be back tomorrow. Amber's going to be leading the show tomorrow.
Substitute teacher.
I will be listening in, so everybody be on your best behavior. And I'm going to be on a plane. I'm going to be on a plane.
You can be at your Michelin star restaurant or something.
I got to go to New York to see my baby girl. All right. Till then, for Vach Lombardi, Brian Broaddus, Amber Garcia, appreciate you joining. We'll be back tomorrow. DallasCowboys.com radio.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!